This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Thank you. Welcome to the show, everybody. A couple things. Let me ask you this question. I was watching last week whenever, I guess it was Monday night, whenever Mahomes and Baker Mayfield were at the 50-yard line doing the coin toss. And they flipped a coin. They go to overtime. Chiefs end up winning the game. But you see, as soon as the coin toss lands, it was funny. It was Baker Mayfield being Baker. He just reacts like, well,
game over.
Game over. Mahomes just won the toss. Like, really funny. Nobody was hating on him for it because it's arguably the second greatest quarterback of all time with a chance to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Let's remove Mahomes because I already have my two answers written down and I don't want to affect anybody's answer. Who would be your second? And you have to put them both down. And we'll go around them in a second. And your third quarterbacks, Mahomes is number one, I'm assuming, in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
If you get one quarterback active.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who would be your second? And then who would be your third quarterback in that one drive to go down and win the game?
In the current NFL, right? We're not talking about old.
Joe Montana
Correct.
is out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Joe Namath is out.
Okay.
Yes, guys.
Just checking,
Okay,
boss.
okay.
Checking the rules.
Currently,
Okay.
There we go. All right.
who would be? I want to know who your second and your third would be. And let me know when everybody's in because, again, I don't want anybody's judgment to be affected.
I'm in.
Everybody
good.
in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will go first. We'll just say number one after Mahomes is going to be Joe Burrow.
Oh.
So I go Joe Burrow, number one. He has stared down the eyes of Patrick Mahomes and beaten him before. He's the one guy who has in the playoffs. And so I'm going to go Joe Burrow because I feel like, as it used to be Reed, it's Eddie now, the goldfish.
That's
It'd be
me.
like somebody has that dog in them. When they don't, they have the goldfish. But Joe Burrow's got that dog in him.
Yeah.
Like he has the amount of arrogance you need to believe in yourself, even when it's not rational. So I'm going Joe freaking Burrow as my number one pick after Mahomes. Kevin?
I'm going to go Stafford. I thought about this, and first that popped in my head was Joe Burrow, and then I'm like, actually, let's keep thinking, and the Stafford. Kind of forget about him.
Why Matthew Stafford?
Because he has 36 fourth quarter comebacks and 46
Oh, he went to the
game-winning
stats.
drives.
Yeah, that's
See,
good.
that's how we
in
like
his
Kevin. He gets his
career.
information.
See, I don't do that. I go with the heart.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just blown away. You used a stat, not just idiocy like we do. That's not even a word. It's idiocy.
Idiocy.
Yes, go ahead.
So 36 fourth quarter comebacks and
Nice.
46 game-winning drives in his career. And that's why. And he was with the Lions for how long? And he has all those numbers? Come on.
That's the only way
True.
he won, though, was coming back.
yeah, everything.
Yeah,
Dude, that's why he has so
they
many.
suck so bad. I
Yeah.
know. Okay, I'll accept it. Eddie?
This pains me, but my first one's Lamar Jackson. That one's fine. I mean,
No. We only get one.
Yeah.
We're doing the first one. What do you mean first one?
yeah, my first pick, right? You said the 1 and 2. Lamar's my dude. Lamar's
Are you
my guy.
listening?
Yeah. You said you like your first.
Did anybody else misunderstand?
I think I got it.
Okay, but you're also working computer screens, so I want to give you the benefit of the
You were
doubt.
out of focus, so I was clicking.
I know. I'm going to give you the, I want to give you the benefit of that. But you didn't say that, so how am I to know?
See, because I have Lamar Jackson.
Don't say anybody else. You only get one. This is your first one. So who is it?
My first is Lamar Jackson.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. We're coming
Lamar
back,
Jackson.
Eddie.
And we'll
you-
get
you
to
wanna
your
know
other
why?
one. We'll get to your other one, but I want to know.
Let me get the stats down for Lamar. I have no stats.
I
Just in my
want
gut.
to. And you can always say, "Hey, sorry, I wasn't able to listen for the last few seconds. I was
Yeah.
fixing the camera."
Yeah.
Then we won't all look at you like Eddie's talking a different language right now.
Okay. Lamar Jackson's my dude.
Okay, why so?
I mean, he's got legs. Like, I feel like you need legs when it's the last drive and you're gonna score. You got everything. When your guys are all covered, you got nothing. You got legs. Give me Lamar Jackson. That's the dude.
He's ZZ Top.
Yeah, he's got legs.
He knows how to use him.
Yes.
Casey?
I got to go with Josh Allen. I know he's had some struggles with Mahomes, but I feel like that 13-second game, that was before the change in the playoff rules. They
Craziest
actually are
thing
the
I've ever
ones
seen.
that,
Yeah.
So I got to go with Josh Allen. I think he's going to do it one of these days.
I don't think any of these are bad.
Yeah.
Reed?
I'm gonna go Will Levis. No, I'm
Let's
just
go.
kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Do
I
it.
wish you were just committed. That'd have been hilarious.
That would have been good, dude.
Why? I saw him down at the Chipotle.
He like mayo.
No, I was also
does
gonna
like
say
Mayo.
Josh Allen. He's got like 15 rush TDs, right?
Yeah, he's
Like
he's a
500
beast.
something yards.
Okay,
Good
so,
I got with some legs, you know.
so there's one. Good. We're all in on the game now, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
Okay, so I made you pick two. But they were in order, 1 and 2. Kevin, I'll go to you first before I give mine. Who was your second one?
Second one was your first, Joe Burrow. He's a dog.
My second one was your first, Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Oh,
For the same reason, and I was impressed you went to stats because I wanted to know who had the most fourth quarter comebacks. Stafford's also he can sling still. He's played a lot, so it's not going to rattle him. Like
Yeah.
I think he's 36 years old,
Yeah.
right? Did I look that up? I looked up some stuff, so I feel pretty good about myself. So we're just inverted. I'm Burrow Stafford. You're Stafford Burrow.
Correct.
Interesting.
Okay, Eddie. Now we're gonna do a game where we do a second quarterback.
Yeah,
Who do you have?
I got him.
Who?
This is tough to
Dak. Say Dak.
It's not Dak.
Oh.
It's not Dak Prescott. I'm gonna go Brock Purdy. I'm gonna
Ooh.
go Brock Purdy. I feel like he's just solid. Like when everything's clicking, he is solid, and that's what you want. He's composed, he's smart, he's underrated, and he'll prove you wrong. He proves me wrong all the time. I'm gonna have to say Brock Purdy.
I think Brock Purdy is a guy who doesn't make a lot of wrong decisions. And I think that is
Mhm. He's smart.
an element of what you're saying there. Like there are some guys, like a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, a Matthew Stafford, they will at times, because they're so aggressive, make a wrong decision out of aggression. That's what you love about him. The thing about Brock Purdy was he doesn't make a lot of wrong decisions, and I think that's very important. Hey, Eddie, great job, buddy.
Thank you. I did not want to pick a 49er, but
He didn't do it last year in the Super Bowl, though.
Correct.
Wow.
He did not. He fell short.
Just want to throw that out
Did
there.
he fall short?
Yeah, remember it was third down and goal,
Oh,
and
he
they
did
kicked a
miss.
field goal, and then the Chiefs got the ball and won.
Okay,
that
but
was
that
his
wasn't him. That was
Chris
that was
Jones, right? Chris
Yeah.
Jones going up the middle.
I'm just,
Yeah.
hey,
But
he's
I'm
a
not saying
quarterback.
that's a
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
He's a quarterback.
I'm not arguing because I don't care enough. But okay. Hey, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Casey.
I had Joe Burrow as my third option, but just to give him a little love, I'm going to say Jalen Hurts because he almost had Mahomes on the ropes in that one Super Bowl, which was pretty solid. So tush push, I don't know. I'll
It's
give him
not
a
working
little love.
lately.
And Reed.
true.
I also had Brock
Mason
Purdy.
Rudolph. Oh,
Man,
sorry. Go ahead.
I love a good underdog, you know.
So you're going Brock. I didn't mean to
Brock
interrupt you.
Purdy.
Go ahead.
Yeah. He just seems like a really smart dude. You know, put good people around him. He's going to do a good job, man. I love them underdogs.
Me too. I'll put good people around me. I do a good job too. That's why,
Hey, that's
that's why I'm not doing that good. of a- Oh yeah. Good
Oh,
point.
man,
Good point.
come on.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, I only got like 4 things I want to talk about here. The second one to start off is I find myself doing something that I don't think I've ever done in my entire life, and that is I am now rooting for Alabama.
Oh,
Mm.
And it's not because I'm rooting for them because they're red. I like red teams naturally because Arkansas is red, and my color, I'm colorblind. I'm generally drawn to red teams. There's really nobody on their team that that like I'm in love with as a player. I think what I like is that I like when everybody jumps on they suck now bandwagon. And like Kalen DeBoer, he's awesome. He's an awesome coach. And the fact that already a couple losses are like, get him out of there. He wears a t-shirt. Like people are so stupid that I find myself rooting for Alabama just to shut stupid people up. Because of all the coaches in the country, like I think that was the number 1 home run hire. Nobody's actually going to replace Nick Saban until years and years later they replace Nick Saban. And that's only once they win more championships than he does. But nobody was going to replace Bear Bryant or Gene Stallings, or you go through the Alabama coaches until Nick Saban did. So I find myself, and it is so weird rooting for Alabama because they are not an underdog in any way, except they kind of are now. They got a couple SEC losses. They lost to Vanderbilt that first game, and I'm happy Vanderbilt won. Was not rooting for them in that game. But I find myself rooting for Alabama, and I've never done it, and I'm rooting for Kalen DeBoer, and don't know him, never met him. We never went up to Washington. We haven't been down to Alabama. But I feel like I'm questioning who I am as a person. Because I've hated Alabama. Not hated like personal because they're not a rival. They usually kick the crap out of us, being an Arkansas fan. But I hated them because they just win all the time. And I hate teams that win all the time.
is it hard to say that out loud?
No, it's not because a lot of people are anti-Alabama and they're not giving them a shot. So like I'm in. Like let's go. Of the teams that are in it, like I'm in. I want Alabama to win the whole freaking thing. You don't?
No.
Do you have a more positive feeling of Alabama because everyone is so negative on Alabama?
I'm with you on that in the sense of like anytime people gang up on one team or one person, I'm always like, you know what? I'm rooting for that person or that team now. But for Alabama, I can't just, maybe it's because they've been so good for so long. I can't feel bad for them.
I feel bad for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah,
I do,
he seems like a good dude.
And he just moved in. Like, he just got to the neighborhood. Finally got his name on his mailbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost a couple. He didn't know how to get to the Starbucks yet. And the environment is different. Like, he's going into an entirely new environment, not just Tuscaloosa. I'm talking about college football in general, where the reason that Saban left is probably why DeBoer and some of these other legacy are struggling.
Yeah.
Things just aren't the same anymore, nor will they ever be the same. And that's why Saban was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this like this anymore.
Yeah. Even Chip Kelly is like, I'm going to go be an assistant.
Be an
now.
assistant, be the OC.
Yeah.
It's why, look at Virginia, their head basketball coach. He left like 2 weeks before the season started. Yeah. However, shout out to him because he did the most baller thing you could possibly do for your boys. You know he knew he was going to leave. And I don't have any first-hand information. You knew he was going to leave, and he waited to the last minute so like his assistant coach, get the head coaching job. Like, that's what you do, and you do not give them time to go hire a head coach.
That's a real one.
That's a real one right there. It's immediately what I thought when I saw this, because he didn't wake up that day and go, "Oh, yeah, I'm out."
Yeah.
He knew it was coming, and he was looking out for his boys, and I appreciate that. That's why our show starts at 5 a.m., right? Because 6 East Coast on Buy Bone Show Markets. That's why at 4:59 one morning, I'm going to quit. Eddie, is going to be yours.
Ooh. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Can you imagine?
10 seconds till show goes on. Guys, I'm out.
Hi.
What's up?
Is this thing on?
Now, speaking of the playoff bracket, and I can run you through the teams, and this is not the official because it is not the end of the season, but they did put out the very first what would happen. This would be the bracket if it existed today. Who's the most annoying team on the bracket? And I'll read them to you, and you can have any criteria you want. But what team do you see? It could be it could be long hate, short hate. It could be irrational hate. But I want to know, you could wipe one team off the bracket, even if they're really good, or they don't deserve to be there. There are no rules. Who do you cut from this bracket? Here we go. At number 1, Oregon. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Miami. Number 4, BYU. Those will be the 4 teams today that will be getting a bye to the second round. At number 5, Ohio State. At 6, Texas. At 7, Penn State. At 8, Tennessee. 9, Indiana. 10, Notre Dame. 11, Alabama. 12, Boise State. Casey, you're first. Eliminate one team out of spite and spite alone.
It's very easy for me. It's going to be BYU. Because
Why?
of Mr. Zachary Wilson.
I thought about to have a religion war.
I know.
I was like,
I mean, I'm not a.
Had a couple Mormon friends.
That's a topic for another show, but yeah, I mean that's
interesting.
that jumps out
Your
to
Jet.
me. My Jet hate my.
Wow.
Yeah.
You love the Jets so much you hate a quarterback that set your program back a couple years.
Yeah.
I guess a program back college that set your organization back a couple years.
Right. It's rooted in some logic, I guess. But
Okay.
That's mine.
I love it. There's no law.
That's pretty good.
That's just pure emotion.
That's some deep stuff,
Yes.
dude.
Kevin?
Mine's going to be Miami, only because they just keep barely. I mean, I know they beat Duke by 20 plus points, but they're just hanging around, and it's just like, go away. Like, you're going to lose at some point. Just do it now, please.
They're so annoying, and they're getting a bye because the ACC sucks.
Yeah, because it's so bad.
Please, SMU beat them or something in the championship. It sucks. I hate Miami too, but only because a couple of those games I feel like they should have lost. But I don't hate as much as Texas. I would eliminate Texas from playing sports.
All of them.
I would just say, hey, Texas, you now. So where I grew up in Central Arkansas, there were some schools that they said, okay, well, this school is not being a successful institution in education and especially sports. So they took like 3 or 4 schools and they made one school out of them. So there was a school called Glenwood, and there's another couple of small, and they have, it's now called Center Point of all those schools. With Texas, I would do the opposite. I would split it all up, make them go to other schools. I'll be like, you go to A&M, you go to Tech, and no more Texas.
Just totally
You
done.
have way too much money. There's too much success here. We don't like this. You have to. Texas I would wipe them off, and we would never. Matter of fact, there never was a Texas.
Oh, the whole state?
No, the state's fine.
Okay.
There was never a
goodness.
University of Texas. There so much so, someone would go, "Why don't we just start a University of Texas here in Austin?" I'd be like, "That's a great idea. Go for it." Because there would be no remembrance of it.
Interesting.
I would wipe them off the map. Respectfully, of course.
Respect.
Hey, Mike, you going to the game?
Yeah, I'm going.
Texas, Florida.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Like I hate Texas, but it'd be fun to be a Texas fan because they have such an original color and they win.
Is Texas yours?
What do you mean?
Is that your pick?
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I feel
I
like
was just double checking.
we should have. You know how when Ohio State plays Michigan, they always block out the M or they don't say it. You know, they have all these things. I feel like we should do that with Texas in general, or just the letter T. We don't say a single word with letter T in it. Mine's all just so jealous. Mine's just jealousy coming from a broke state that doesn't win, and we see rich Big Brother Texas just dominating with like a cool color. I think our color is cooler because I love red, but like Tennessee and Texas have an original color. That's pretty cool to have like like.
Do you put Miami's orange in that same category?
No,
It's a nice
I can't
orange.
see the difference. Is why I think. So no. But not because I'm a hater on it, because I don't think I see the difference. Because to me, I think it looks the same as other oranges. Burnt orange in Texas does not look like any other orange to me.
Yeah.
And Tennessee orange, succa orange, like the Vol orange, that is that's different.
What's the name of that orange?
Succa orange. Go
Succa
succa orange.
Succa orange.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm wiping Texas off. Kevin, you said Miami. Eddie, you said
I'm going to Ohio State.
I feel that.
I'm going to Ohio State. Like, who likes Ohio State? I really don't think they're that good. And justice for Army. I think Army should be in that spot. They're undefeated. Put
Justice
Army in
for
there instead of
Army.
Ohio State.
I think if Army, well, okay. Let me say a couple things. Ohio State should be in. I don't think that Army has to have that spot specifically.
Well,
But I hear
that's just my dream
I get
scenario.
your point. No, I hear you. I hate Ohio State. The reason Kevin hates Alabama. I don't actually hate Ohio State. I just hate that they always win and get the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
I have no problem. Like emotionally, I am not like an anti-Ohio State guy. I actually like the Big Ten.
Do you know anyone that loves Ohio State, like personally? I don't.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Of
do?
course, yeah. Gary Lavox, Rascal Flats, massive Ohio State
Oh,
fan.
I didn't think about him. Yeah. I didn't know he was a big fan.
Mhm.
But
So-
like, I think of my close circle of friends. We got Texas fans. We got Arkansas fans.
you're born
we
in
got-
Texas, though. You're regional. It's regional.
Yeah, but I live in Tennessee now. I got a big Vols fan over here in Kevin.
he's a
Shout out.
poser. He's a
Shout
poser,
out.
though.
Reed, Arkansas State.
Yeah, let's go, baby. I think I went to two
Syracuse.
games.
Yeah.
2 games.
Syracuse, Casey, but no one likes Ohio State in my circle of friends.
So, but what does that say?
I just get them out of there.
I got
Just
it.
get them out of there.
Yeah, no. Ohio State is a jealousy hatred. They spent the most money. Although I will say this, and I don't hate Ohio State, but I hate Ohio State because they get the benefit of the doubt. But I don't hate Ohio State.
You don't hate
Right,
them.
right.
No, and heck, I'm kind of rooting for Ryan Day because everybody hates against him, hates on him. But this is my issue now, is that I watched an Arkansas basketball game. We're taping this on Thursday afternoon. I watched an Arkansas basketball game last night. It's weird because now we have a really high-profile, expensive coach. We have a lot of NIL money. We are highly functioning with that NIL money. We have great players. It's weird. I'm struggling with it.
What's weird about it? Because I don't think you're hated.
We're
Or-
not.
or-
No, we're not. We're not hated yet.
Yeah.
I think there's an expectation. We weren't even picked first in the SEC, but there's an expectation because you saw the poll, like coaches, which basketball programs do you have the most faith in? And it's Arkansas, number one.
Oof.
And so I don't think it's this year only, but there will be an expectation because all the money. But we're going to end up being the villain if we win.
Yeah.
Now,
Coach
if
Cal.
yeah,
God, but that's going to be awesome, dude.
I don't know if it will or not. I'm not used to that. It feels funny to
But
me.
if you win, like, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
And that
it's-
you become the villain.
we've been the underdog, underfinanced, little engine that could for so long, my whole life, that it feels weird. Where I'm like, I'm watching a guy that I know we paid $1 million for, NIL money, play, and I'm like, how does this make me feel? Great that we actually do it, or like, do I want to be the lovable loser that proves everybody wrong? I don't know. I'm
that's
having
Tricky.
an identity crisis.
Two completely different worlds.
But I'm also like hating on Texas for being rich at the same time, and I'm like, it's completely irrational.
You know what was weird, though, is he was, I mean, you used to seen him kind of just wear like a jogging suit.
Cal,
Yeah, Cal. But not in the Arkansas game. Like his first game, he wore a suit. He looked nice. He wore like a nice little red jacket.
Moon.
I'd never seen him dressed like that.
Him wearing red was really weird for a long time. Now I've seen it so much, like on my feeds, it's starting to be kind of normal. but he's blue to me. Not even blue, not just Kentucky, but Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like he's been blue. You can go back.
Where was
UMass.
Yeah,
That's kind of reddish.
Burgundy.
It is, but that was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah,
That was like
I don't remember that.
back. I only do because we play at Arkansas. We played them because I'm not thinking of Patino. I get him and Patino mixed up a bunch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Patino did Providence, right?
Yeah, they both were up in freaking
Up
the
in
Northeast, where
Northeast.
only losers come from. I'm just kidding.
You know.
But yeah. So, Coach, okay, it's interesting.
It is.
I'm having an identity crisis. We haven't even won. Meaning, as a program, and I'm already like, I don't know if I like winning.
I know. It hasn't happened yet.
I don't know. Yeah, we haven't even won, and I'm like, winning feels weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so there's that. That's what's on my mind. I do want to now go to our guy. We love Kansas State, and so we talked to Chris Klieman, the head coach. We did an episode last year with him of Too Much Access, and we love the program. We already like the people because we know a lot of Kansas folks, but after going there, like we have become fans of him and them. He won 4 consecutive FCS championships at North Dakota State, got hired at Kansas State in 2018, and we talked. I got a nice note from him last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Nice.
really
He's
nice.
such a nice guy.
Yeah.
It was like, it was so cool to talk to you guys because of how you talk to us, basically was the note, which honestly,
How do you talk to him?
well, they're probably like,
Oh, it's
such
because you were like, oh, you.
no.
Oh, my.
You'll hear I did it in Spanish, so don't be
Muy bien.
I think it's because mostly people think that we have this like fresh approach on interviews. We're just idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, we're just asking like what dumb guys would ask because that's what we're not trying to act smarter than we are. And they're like, man, approach was so fresh. And I'm like, we really strategize that approach, coach. Thanks.
Coach, that's really how we are, Coach.
Yeah.
Very scripted over here.
The Wildcats are 7-2 on the season, still in the hunt for the Big 12. Even at the end, because I waited to the end of this interview to ask him about the loss at Houston.
Yeah.
I love the guy. I love the program. Here he is. Here's Coach. Hey, Coach. Good to see you. Thank you for the time.
You bet, Bobby. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I do want to go back a year or so. We were working out with Cooper Beebe when we were up there with you guys. You keep up with Cooper at all with the Cowboys?
Absolutely. He's come back for at least 2 games. But no, probably weekly. We send a text back and forth. Super proud of him being the starting center in the NFL.
Man, crazy too, because Cooper and I follow each other on Instagram since then. And when he was drafted, obviously super pumped for him. But the transition, and maybe you could add a little to this, the transition, because he did not play center for you, but now he's playing center with the Cowboys. How hard is that to do on the offensive line?
It's really hard. But the fact that he played all 4 positions but that, I think, lent himself to understanding all the positions and knew that he could, because he was the guy that communicated all of our checks and adjustments and IDs and stuff anyway. And all along when he was here and continued to get better and better, people kept asking us, do you think he can be a center? Do you think he can be a center? Well, yeah, we did from a mental side of things. Now from a physical side of things, he just had to put the time into it. And obviously he did that because to make that transition and be named the starter by week 1 was pretty remarkable.
So teams were reaching out to you to ask if you thought like his mental capacity was that of a center. So was it his size? Like why were teams looking at him as a center?
All the fact that he's not 6'6" and 6'5" and stuff. He's I don't know, what is he, 6'3.5", 6'4". And they knew he would be an interior guy somewhere. And the center position is so valuable and so hard to find that when you have somebody with the acumen that he has of understanding the game and understanding defensive fronts and being able to communicate, I thought it was going to be a natural for him to be able to move inside there. Then he just had to, work on the physical side of getting the snaps and movement. And I knew he could do it because he's such a great athlete too.
Is there ever a time with a player when you will modify a bit of how they play or what they do for the next level, even though it may not be completely advantageous to what you're doing right then?
Not completely, but I also have a responsibility to give these guys the best opportunity to have success at that next level. And if it can fit with what we're doing as a team, yes, absolutely. We had a a guy that actually started for the Bucks the other night named Josh Hayes. He's a safety / corner, and I had him at North Dakota State, and he was a corner. And then we got him out of the transfer portal to come here, and he assumed he was going to play corner. And I said, Josh, we're going to play you at safety here. A, it's going to help us be a better team, but B, I think it's going to market you better in the NFL because you're not a 6'3" guy that's 215 pounds. That's a corner that a lot of the teams are looking for. Josh is a 6 foot, 195 pound kid. And I said, if you can cover slot guys, you're going to have a place in the NFL. So is it not only going to help our team, but it's going to help your draft status. And they ended up getting drafted maybe in the 4th or 5th round by the Bucks. And I think he's in his 3rd year now. And now he's a starter for him. But his ability to move and showcase what he could do as a safety rather than a corner helped us as a team and helped him in the draft.
What's Avery Johnson like as a dude?
Gosh, he's awesome. He's so much fun to be around. He's the unquestioned leader on the offense, but he's very confident, has some swagger, but he's not a cocky kid. He's a guy that, the room lights up when he comes in, but he doesn't want that, if that makes sense. He doesn't want to be the center of attention. He's just always going to be. Some of it is his hair, right? He's going to be the center of attention because of his hair. But he's a very humble, driven kid that what people don't see about Avery is all the things that he does in our community for youth, for disability children, for people in need. I know he's helping a principal back home that was diagnosed with cancer, of raising money. Those are the things that he's not putting out on social media, but maybe should be emphasized a little bit more because it's not just about the football. The football is just a very small part of his life.
When you look for a leader, like what are those qualities? And the leadership qualities can be very different. Because I mean, we have them even here amongst this organization. Like, what are the qualities that you see in leaders that you feel like go best with your program?
For starters, they have to be able to hold themselves accountable. It's always easy to say the best player and the work ethic and this last one off the field and the first one on the field. You know, those are the things that people, I think about. But I think of it as he's one that holds himself accountable, and he's not going to talk the talk unless he can walk the walk. And we have a kid named Austin Moore that's one of our captains that epitomizes what a leader is. And when I say a leader, he's a servant leader in the fact of he makes everybody around him better because of his presence. And the best leaders are ones that really don't care if at the end of the day, we're going to be best friends for the next 40 years. You're going to respect me because I'm going to hold myself accountable, but I'm not going to be afraid to hold you accountable. And, you know, in our sport, in college, kids have 3, 4, 5 years to make a legacy. And you can make a ton of friends, and you're already going to make a ton of friends. But the only way you're going to make a legacy is if you have success. And the only way you're going to have success is by holding your peers accountable. And that's what I find in the best leaders is they can hold themselves accountable. They can walk the walk, but they are not afraid to call out their best friend, not afraid to call out a teammate that is maybe equally as talented. It's easy to call out the guys that maybe aren't as good or don't do things the right way. But when you can call out the other best players and they respect you for it, that's the best sign of leadership.
I'm going to get in the weeds a little here because I respect your entire career as a coach and what you've built at every level. But I want to talk about practice tape. So you're a practice, you're doing what you do, you're CEOing, you're making sure the macro things are done right. Do you ever get on and watch some tape and see somebody that maybe you did not know was competing at a higher level than maybe you wouldn't have caught if you didn't see it on tape?
100%. I do it every day. And not only do you have to do it, but you have to recognize that individual or those individuals for their efforts. And a simple thing would be We have our scout team players of the week every week. The guys that aren't playing, but gave us a chance to be successful by the look that they gave us each day that week. That maybe we're down a defensive tackle and he had to take every rep in practice for the scout team or a linebacker, whatever it may be, as well as special teams. And I think it's important that not only myself, but some of our best players thank those guys and recognize those guys. We have a neat deal that we do after wins in the locker room where we hand out a hammer, because we talk about pound the stone all the time. We hand out a hammer to somebody, and then they get to recognize somebody. And oftentimes it's a defensive lineman that is recognizing, hey, scout team offensive lineman so-and-so, or scout team wide receiver as a defensive back. Thank you for pushing me this week, man. You made me better. But I think you have to recognize those guys, and they have to know that they're a valued part of your organization and program.
I want to ask you about your dad for a second. What do you think you've taken from him, even if you don't realize until you got older that you had, like as a coach?
Competitiveness and toughness, not even in question. My dad's the toughest man I know because of some of the things that he's been through health situations, through mental situations. I probably caused some of his mental anguish at times, but he's the toughest guy I know, and he's never going to let somebody else know that something's bothering him. I probably don't do as good a job of that. I don't do as good a job of that. I wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit more than my dad ever did, but that's a different era too. And then the competitiveness of, we go to play Oklahoma. I'm like, Dad, this is going to be a tough one, man. I don't know. My first year, we don't know if we're on the same field as these guys. And BS. Yeah, you are. But you got to convince your guys of that. You got to make sure that your guys know that you believe in them, that you are a better team. And if you all come together and you play your tail off with each other, you got every bit of opportunity to beat a team like that. And so he's still at 85 years old, the best armchair quarterback I have.
Does he text you at all, and does he use emojis?
No, my dad wouldn't use an emoji ever. But he'll text me, but I always know I'm in trouble, or he wants to talk to me when he either leaves me a voicemail or sends me a text, and it starts with Christopher.
Oh, full name. He gets you with the full name. Yeah, dang.
Yeah, Christopher, why don't you give me a call?
Big 12's new this year. Like,
yeah.
A lot of new teams, having to go to new places. How has it been with the new Big 12 for you guys?
It's been a really neat experience. I think it's phenomenal for fan bases. I got to be honest with you. The travel sucks.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but we knew that, but we had to progress in our league to keep up with the Joneses. So the travel has been not a whole lot of fun because we're kind of like, we're the old Pac-12 at night. Now we're the Big 12 at night. So go to BYU and get home at 6 a.m. Which was a great environment. So much respect for Kalani Sitake and what he's done, and they've deserved all the recognition they're getting. But what a great environment that was. Going to Colorado, Coach Prime's done a phenomenal job there. That place was electric. We found a way to sneak out of there with a win, but it was a cool environment and a beautiful setting, and it was fun. We've gone to some of the other ones, and we have a few more teams in this league that we haven't played or seen for a long time here. And I think it's healthy for college football. The only thing I don't like about when you say the new Big 12, the new Pac, or the new ACC, the new SEC, all these new leagues, the only thing I don't like about it is I don't know if we're going to truly get a true champion when not everybody plays each other. And I don't know if in the Big Ten, the top teams play each other all across the board. Maybe they do. I don't pay attention to enough schedules, but Iowa State doesn't play BYU. Well, nobody knew, but those two are the better teams in the league. We don't play Texas Tech, and Texas Tech and us are up towards the top of the league. And I know that that's part of it. We just can't control that, but that's something that I wish we could get rectified a little bit.
Yeah, the SEC is doing that too, where they, were East and West until this year. But it almost makes more sense because of that, right? I mean, inequality in schedule to put the divisions again, because at least the entire division could play each other and the two winners could play each other. So almost it's like you're reversing to go forward, because you're right. There are advantages for certain teams every year, and there will be, and that will be something you constantly have to face.
Yeah, and we can't control that. And rather than complain about it or anything, nobody knows what the league's going to be like, and that's the prognostication of this team's going to be the best team when we get into August. Nobody has any idea. I mean, nobody knew what Indiana was going to be. I'm sure that their players and their staff probably thought we're going to have a really good team, but nobody knows how those transfers are going to fit in and how the new players are going to adapt and fit into the program. So you're right. It's going to be hard. And now we play these teams, and then I know we're not playing BYU next year. I can't think who else we're not playing, but it's like, okay, you get a game with them, and you don't see them for 2 years. And it's good that we're still playing like KU and Iowa State, Oklahoma State, some of our regional rivalries. But we went to West Virginia again after not seeing them in 23. We played at their place in 22, didn't play them in 23, and then had to go back there in 2024. So you're going to have some of those imbalances where you're going to go to the same place 2 of 3 years because of just how they work the schedule.
I have 2 final questions for you. I was watching the CFP whenever they announced the rankings there. You're ranked 19. How high do you think you need to get obviously if you win the Big 12, you get in. But where do you think you need to land in order to get in?
Well, that'd be the easiest path, without a doubt, is to win the Big 12. I will be really disappointed if a 2-loss Big 12 school gets to the championship game and gets beat and doesn't get in.
And that third loss counts against them is what you're saying?
Yeah. When you may not even play in the game and you could get in, but you play in that game and maybe BYU runs the table and ends up 13-0. Obviously they're going to get in, but maybe a team loses to them that's their third loss that they maybe would have gotten in had they not even played the game. Somebody in the SEC and the Big Ten, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not naive enough. I understand the landscape of college football where those two conferences are at, is going to get in because they didn't play in that game.
It does feel counterproductive to penalize a team for making it to the championship game when they lose the championship game, because you're right. That absolutely could happen. You could go, well, there's a 3 beside their name now, not a 2. So we're going to go ahead and hold them out for another 2 that didn't make it because of a tiebreaker or so.
Exactly. Yeah. And I wish you could, and Bobby, within the next couple of years, I don't know when this thing ends, it's got to go to 16 teams. Don't have buys and get 16 teams in there. And then you could say, hey, the 4 Power 4 conferences, if you're in that championship game, there's your first 8. Those guys are in. I don't care how you got there, because you're probably not going to get in there at 7-5 anyway. You're going to be a 10-2, 9-3 team, whatever it is. They might as well just put those 8 teams in and then figure out the 8 after that.
Last question, tough loss at Houston. What do you say to your team after that game?
Don't let it define you. Very similar to after BYU. It's hard to win in college football. I mean, it is. There's so much parity with the age of the transfer portal and stuff. You have to be prepared and put your best foot forward and play really good football every week. Same thing. We got beat at BYU, and I said, guys, this game can't define us. We can't let BYU beat us twice. And then we won 4 in a row and played pretty good football. Okay, we lost a lot of things, and starts with me. And we've got to find ways to correct those things. But we can't let that game beat us twice. We're fortunate. We have an open week this week. We got a lot of guys banged up. So does everybody in the country have a lot of guys banged up. We get a chance to at least catch our breath, get some guys healthy for these last 3 weeks.
Coach, I think I've watched 7 of your games. Like I'm a legit fan now, and also my team sucks, so I'm a legit fan. I've seen, everybody get a good laugh in. We suck, but it gives me more time to spend with Kansas State, and all of us here, like we loved being there. We're massive fans of you guys. I know you got 3 games left and an off week this week, so we appreciate the time. But just want to say, like, we are genuinely and loudly rooting for you guys. So thank you for the time, Coach.
I appreciate you having me on. This is a big thing for our program to be on your show, and can't thank you guys enough for being fans of K-State.
All right, Coach. See ya. Thank you. All right, let's do the parlay. We'll do 3 teams this week because we did 4 last week. But we're not on the app then if we only do 3, right?
Correct.
I just don't.
Let's do 4.
Reed
Mom.
got sad.
Why? I
Like
like being on the app, man. It's like I can't click on it because I'm still locked out, but I can see it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
We might have already committed to. Mike, what do we do here? Can we do 4 and they put us on the app?
I can see. I know we're slated for later in the month to be on the app again.
You guys.
And then were we at the end of the app?
Dude, we were last place.
Very high. Yeah.
Man.
And you know what? I don't blame them.
No, sure, I get it.
They were like, we like your fresh approach. I'm betting. We're like, you know what? We're just idiots. It's not a fresh approach. We'll do 4 because I want Reed to be a part of it.
Yes.
Nice.
Do you guys know your teams?
Yeah, I got mine. But I hope you guys didn't.
Reed's looking for the first time. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He says, yeah.
Yeah, I got mine.
Okay.
Go with your gut, Reed. Go with your gut.
Let's do a little parlay here. Kevin, you go first.
I'm going to go the undefeated BYU Cougars. They're the Cougars, right?
They're Cougars.
Plus 3.5 at Utah.
That'd be a pretty fun game.
Or minus 3.5. I'm sorry.
Minus
I
3,
said
yeah,
plus.
yeah.
Minus 3.5.
That'd be a pretty fun game. Rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eddie?
Check it out. We're going Texas, your favorite team, minus 21.5 against Florida, but they're at home, so we got that. Oh, it should be a mess.
That's a lot.
And Mike, you're going
Sure.
to the game. When are you getting there?
Tomorrow afternoon.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Or
that
evening,
too.
I guess.
And the fact that Mike's going to be there, special juju.
Reed?
I think I may go South Carolina -4 against Vandy.
Oh,
You don't like
You're
that,
going
huh?
against our Commodores, dude?
I love them, but it's been too much.
Pick your team.
I'm going to go South Carolina -4.
Since it's not on the app, you can actually just not use Reed's.
I guess that's true.
Like you
Yeah,
can build
fair.
your own out.
Okay.
that's true.
Yeah. Okay. And then
This is you.
I know what game is going to hit,
Oh, you did?
but it's not as sexy. It's not as fun of a pick.
Oh, that's okay. I think I picked Army last time.
Yeah, but that's sexy. I love America. I like this game is automatic. I think Vegas just fell asleep when they were making this line.
Sam Houston State.
Mm-mm. Mississippi State's playing in Knoxville at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 24-point favorite. Mississippi State sucks.
I'll be there.
You're going to that
will?
one?
Yeah.
We could have beat them by 100.
Yeah.
Tennessee -24.
Kevin, you don't think that's a lot? I mean,
No.
I had 21.5, and you're like, that's a lot.
Well, Florida is a much better team than Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, they're awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Florida, I think they're on like their 4th quarterback now, so that hurts.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I did see. Is Lagway playing?
I don't think so.
The fact that they even brought up that he might was surprising to me. I thought he was going to be out multiple weeks.
Same. And they have some transfer from Yale, I want to say.
Yeah, like a walk-on from Yale.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Smart guy, huh?
He actually goes out with a notepad and a pen.
Takes notes.
Writes a couple things down, and yeah. See, Coach, we're idiots. You know.
Yeah, that's just us,
You're
Coach.
idiots. If you want to take the 25 whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code Bobby Sports when you download the app. There you go. Use the code Bobby Sports. Thank you. All right, just a couple more things, Mike. We'll be done.
I keep it rolling.
Okay. All right, so here's our talk with Charlotte Hornets power forward Grant Williams, which, by the way, he's been hilarious this season. You been watching him?
No.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
You see him push Tatum?
Yes. He's just like trolling. It's so funny. Grant played at Tennessee, where he was an All-American before being drafted by the Celtics in the first round of 2019. You can follow Grant on Instagram at GrantWill2. Here is Hornets power forward Grant Williams. Grant, good to see you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
How often do you just walk down the street and somebody's like, sign this? Does that happen a lot?
In New York, it happens more, I feel like, than normal, but that's just because it's a sports city.
Is it weird because on a much lower level, like if I'm going to do like a comedy show or music show, people will bring stuff and I know they're going to sell it. It's like when a 53-year-old dude comes up with something to
Yeah.
sign. Like I know, and my stuff won't go for as much as yours, so.
No, maybe.
No, it won't at all. But doesn't that feel a little weird? Like all you're doing signing something that some dude's just probably going to flip real quick.
It depends. Like, I always check, like, when I'm in during the season, if I see a blue marker, I typically don't sign. So if it's black or gold or something like that, I'll sign it, but blue, I typically don't sign.
Why is that?
Blue is what typically gets sold. That's what I got told. Like, if you think about Panini cards, we sign a blue marker, and everything that typically, like, you see online is typically in blue.
So I'll tell my son not to carry a blue marker.
Yeah, if you don't carry a blue marker, we're pretty good on getting the signature.
So we live in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know how you feel about Barnes. How you feel about the program now?
I feel like they're doing great. I don't know how many years Barnes got left in them. I feel like if they end up being bad, I feel like Barnes is gonna step away. But I think that at the same time, they're one of the best teams in the country every year. So they'll stay competitive. This year it's gonna be different because there's a team full of transfers and freshmen. So I'm excited what Coach Barnes is gonna be able to do with that group. And I wish in years past that Dalton year was probably their best year to do it.
What about NIL? Do you wish that had been way more prevalent whenever you were playing?
Yeah, let's just say I was a 3-star recruit, so it's not like I was getting paid out of high school like some guys. So if I would definitely went back, I definitely could have made probably $2 million or something like that year especially after the 2 back-to-back SEC Player of the Years. But NIL didn't kick in until 2 years after I left school, so it was after COVID. Technically, I could have been a super senior, but I wouldn't have wanted to be in school that long.
As far as fitness goes, what do you do when it's not time to do you officially?
Yeah.
Like, how are you staying in shape?
Honestly, it starts with just like the biking and stuff like that. I like cycling, I like golfing. I like trying to stay active. Walks. Honestly, I enjoy being in Europe because it's a walkable city, New York, places like that, because you can get around, use the metro, subway, and just kind of move around. I'm not really the guy that walks around with security or really worries about anything. So that's part of the reason why I love being in the city like this. So it's been really fun.
When the season gets closer, how do you change your regimen?
Ramp up everything else. Diet's probably the number one thing for me, just because working out I always will do, but eating is probably my biggest kryptonite. So figuring out what you're eating, how much you're eating, that's probably my number one thing for fitness.
How many shots you need to get up a session? Do you have a number, or is it feel?
It's more so feel, but at the same time, I typically get like 200, 300 at least in that one time a day, and then maybe I go back. But, over time, it was thousands, and it just depends on what time of the season you're in and what you think you need.
What do you feel like you bring now at this stage of your career?
Honestly, just a veteran mentality, defense, physicality, shooting, spacing, and honestly, just hopefully a chance of winning, like a winning mentality and culture to be able to set.
When you say a veteran, a really young team, like until Van Fleet went to Houston, like that was a very, very, very young team.
Yes.
Do teams actually need veterans to keep people in line?
It's not even about keeping people in line, but I think it's necessary because it gives guys perspective and it also gives guys a blueprint. When you're just a young group of guys, you're all competing for the same spots. You're not really worried about winning. You're not really caring about team outlook. You're worried about what girl you're going to talk to, and you don't know what girl to avoid. It's just a lot going on. So honestly, it's crucial that we have vets on every team. It's something that I'm actually trying to talk to the league about and make sure that it's either a staple or something like that going on. Because having a Taj Gibson and a Markieff Morris, Udonis Haslam, people like that in the locker room gives you not only the history of the league and what you've been through, but also might give you perspective during the game. Like when I got to Charlotte, I was like, Brandon, get to know the referees. Like no one's ever told him that, but talk to them, learn their names. You can call them Mr. Ref. You're going to be with them for the next 20 years of your life. These guys don't change, so get to know them. So these are the things that I feel like when you're a young team, you don't really get to hear. And veterans, I think, are really crucial in every team in the league. Year 1 to year 2, you're talking about Brandon Miller, I'm assuming. Yes. Like Nick Smith. Those kind of guys. Year 1, I'm assuming eyes wide open, it's just I'm in the freaking NBA and making money. What's the difference in growth, even from your year 1 to year 2? What will they experience going into the second year? It's that second year where everybody kind of understands your game now, and you have to continue to improve. My first year, I wasn't necessarily labeled as a shooter, and that second year, I came in as a really good shooter, and it's just a matter of continued improvement and trying to make your mark in the league, because you might have a great first year. I had a great rookie year. My second year wasn't what I wanted it to be. So it's just a matter of maintaining that same consistent mentality of competitiveness and honestly focusing in on what's important and making sure that basketball is your main thing. Can you actually, if you focus on a specific skill, can you return to the NBA the next year with a new skill in your bag that they were not used to you having last year? Absolutely. I think I've improved year over year, especially with my handle and perimeter skills, playmaking ability, and then shooting for sure in my life. And honestly, just getting more comfortable on the floor and understanding where your strengths are, what spots you want to get to. And it takes time. Some of their best players don't really have their best years to their 8th, 9th year. So you look at a guy like Jeremy Grant, he's always improved. There's always going to be that continued improvement. Especially when you're young. I was a 20-year-old rookie, and people thought I was old, like I was 24. I was like, nope, I'm probably the same age as most of these guys. I just went to school for 3 years. So there's always something you can improve on, and I think that, I always make the joke, people made fun of JB's left hand that year, and then all of a sudden next year, all he was doing was driving left. So you can really improve your game.
last question. As a kid watching basketball, like your Mount Rushmore, the 4 players that you watch the most.
It's funny because you're going to laugh at my names because none of them were the cool ones. Like, I was a Boris Diaw fan.
Wow, yeah.
I was it's funny because Draymond Green at the time was one of my favorite players. Honestly, I enjoyed guys that were my position, my size. So, honestly, Chuck Hayes was another name. And last but not least, a guy that I could never play like was Jamal Crawford.
Was there a chance for you to ever, your first year or two in the league, you ever get to do something cool like at the Olympics? We saw KD throw it.
Oh, I was there this year. I was interviewing the guys. I have video of me after the game because I was with Olympics.com. So I was able to be down there after Steph and all those different games. I was asking them questions and they were like, what? Part of my French, Steve Kerr was like, what the F are you doing here? And I was like, I'm just on the media side, having a good time.
Did you ever get to do that in a game though, where like somebody that was a hero of yours, you throw them an alley-oop or play against them, and you were like, this is kind of cool, this is my life.
My rookie year was Kemba Walker. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I watched Kemba as I grew up. And then all of a sudden I get drafted to the Celtics, he signs there. Like, I told him stories about how he was at Providence Day School working out, and I was a 9th grade kid, walked up to him, introduced myself, and he had no idea and remember it, but he was the nicest guy to me at basketball camps, too, when I was young. And it's just like, I told him, I said, these things matter. So that's why I try to tell every rookie, like, you never know who you're going to meet, you never know who you're going to talk to, so try to treat everybody with respect, and at the end of the day, you might change someone's whole trajectory of their life just by one conversation.
That's awesome. That's how I feel about you and me right now. You changed my whole trajectory with just one conversation. I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me on.
Very much. All right, heck of a show so far, boys. Got 2 final things to talk about. Number 1, the new pickleball rankings have been released.
No.
Casey, do you play pickleball?
I never actually played pickleball,
Okay.
but I dabbled in tennis.
Because I know you've said that before.
Yeah.
We definitely would let you play with us. We're not like having a group chat and letting you watch us have the group chat without being a part of it.
Yeah, next time you guys do it, let me know.
Problem is, it gets pretty competitive. You almost need a couple. Eddie's wearing the goldfish. I love it, dude.
Well, I have to. I'm the goldfish.
You are the goldfish.
Good man.
And I didn't show up to the last session, so I didn't move ranking,
bailed.
obviously.
Yeah.
You need to become a part of us. You just got to get a couple reps in.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just like you come over with just a little, little hit,
Cardio,
just a little hit, and teach you the rules. Do you know the rules of pickleball?
No.
Okay.
Have you heard of the kitchen?
No.
Stay out of it, mother.
All right.
Yeah. Don't even think about it.
Here, and I need to do this. I need to do this dramatic for the clip for the internet clip too.
Okay.
Here are the new pickleball rankings as of the date of insert date here.
Oh. Dramatic.
Thank you. Number 1, still holding me. Thank you.
No surprise there.
Number 2, country superstar George Burge.
Superstar.
Dude, he's got one number 1, about to have another
I know.
one.
That song's a banger.
Leave that in the clip when Eddie insults
Yeah.
George Burge at number 2.
Okay, that's more than we have.
Okay.
You're right.
Number 3, first time on the list, music producer Ross Copperman.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes, first time, and he shows up at number 3. He has his 3
I haven't
mandatory
met Ross
appearances.
yet.
He has his 3. You gotta have 3
Okay.
appearances to make the list.
Okay.
He had his 3rd appearance. You were not there on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ross Copperman probably has like 20 number 1 songs.
It's a lot of number 1s.
At number 4, Kickoff Kevin.
Hey.
A solid number 4 though.
I'll take that.
Like can challenge for 3 and 2.
I'll take that. I had a rough day on Wednesday. Rough day.
Yeah, I pounded him pretty good.
He did, and so did
Nice.
George.
Yeah, yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Well, that sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At number 5, he's a human. He's also a Gator. Gator Harrison.
Nice.
At number 6 of 8, the former goldfish.
That's right, baby.
Reed.
That's right, baby.
There it is, Reed. Nice
Thank
job,
you.
Reed.
Thank
At
you,
number
guys.
6 in the
Thank you.
pickleball
6,
rankings.
that's
Thank you.
very good.
Thanks, guys.
At number 7, falling because of injury, Kevin Klug.
Jeez.
Now, he did play in a tournament over the weekend that wasn't us, and he played pretty well.
That doesn't count.
But but he's been injured, and he's still, I think, on one leg better than the next person.
Oh,
That's weird.
At number 8, wearing the goldfish, the lowest,
Oh.
last in the league, the caboose. Eddie, everybody. I'm sorry, Eddie.
The
Eddie.
goldfish.
He's wearing the goldfish.
I'm coming to get you boys, though.
Mm-hmm.
I will be coming.
When?
I'm doing some training in my backyard.
It doesn't take much to take over. Like,
right in front of me over here.
you know,
I got an injured guy and I got Reed.
Yeah, I mean, you can move up. You can move up. So that is the current pickleball list of whatever. We can play whenever you guys want. Because our Klug's out of town for whatever days.
Oh, so we can get him.
I mean, no, I'm saying we could play whenever we're normally supposed to work out.
Oh, good point. You want to play today?
What time? 3?
Yeah.
Maybe like 2:30.
Okay.
Could you do that?
Yeah, possibly.
I cannot.
Kevin?
Falling down the ranks.
That's okay. Reed, the most important question.
Reed could because
can
he's
you
doing the podcast with us
podcast.
today.
Okay, cool.
We got to find a fourth though that can play normally. We'll see. George isn't in town.
Yeah.
I can text Ross.
Okay.
We'll see what's up.
Let me know.
We'll see if I can find a fourth because we got Mike and I have a podcast we have to go do anyway in a few minutes, and then we're doing one now too. Really, that's all I do. Okay, so thank you. That's pickleball rankings, and I'm gonna do one more thing, and it's a little something I'm dabbling with. I call it the oddly numbered list. It's a list of things that just has an odd number to the list, and my oddly numbered list this week is most irrelevant NFL teams. And the list is, well, only 4 teams. It's an odd number for a list. I know. These are the 4 most irrelevant teams according to me. At number 4, the Raiders.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback. Well, and that makes you pretty irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
They don't win. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they're in a city where there's so much going on. And unless you're really good, you just exist. You don't matter. There's a difference in existing and mattering. And the Raiders, they have a star in Brock Bowers. They have a star in Max Crosby. But unless you have a quarterback, you don't have much. They don't have a coach as far as like a coach that has any winning under his belt. I mean, he went in as the interim last year.
Yeah.
They have a big owner.
The son of the...
No, Tom Brady.
Oh.
You got Tom, which is ironic. No quarterback, but you got the greatest of all
Yeah,
time.
he's so
sitting back
new,
there.
though. He's so new.
Yeah.
Number 4 on my list, the Raiders. At number 3, the Titans.
Oh.
Sad.
And that's hard to do because we can see their freaking house right
They're
here.
neighbors.
We can look out the
Down
window
the
and there
road.
they are. But when you don't win, and even when they were winning, they were just kind of winning, and they were winning very boring. They were...
Yeah.
There was nothing dynamic about even when the Titans had a decent team. The logo, the Titan, it's kind of boring.
Now everything's kind of boring. You're right.
You're right.
When it wasn't before, really.
Yeah,
but now,
it's all good. It like nobody cares about. I'll just say us because we're here. Nobody cares about the Titans, good or bad. Nobody hates the Titans. And unless you're like a super fan, you live here, nobody loves them. And that's the worst when there's no feeling about you.
Yeah.
You want people to hate you because you want people to feel at you like I do Texas.
It's like people feel good for them when they win. They're like, oh, good for them.
Oh, those, yeah.
Like a
That's
pat on
the
the back.
worst.
Wow, look at you guys. I know.
Right.
And that's what the Titans have right now. Number 3, irrelevant franchises, the Tennessee Titans. Number 2, the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm.
And they even have a quarterback, but they're in a weird time zone. So that affects when you're not good and they kind of were supposed to be good. And then they get a draft pick and they don't even get him the ball. It's just a bunch of weird there's always weirdness with that group. They fire Cliff and Cliff like rebuilds when they get the grades for like cafeteria food and equipment, they're like D's and F's and it's weird. Like whatever's happening out there is just weird.
I feel like the entire state of Arizona, when it comes to sports, like, do you ever really think about the
Interesting.
Diamondbacks?
Let me think about that.
No,
Nope.
not
They
really.
made the World Series, and
You forget about
you forget.
that.
Yeah.
Their hockey team left them. They went to Utah.
Who were they? The Coyotes?
Yeah.
And then their basketball team, the Whistle Chasers.
Yeah, they're not
You don't
there
even know
anymore.
them.
No.
They're an NBA team. You never heard of them. That's how much you don't even know.
Exactly.
So the Cardinals, and that's a tough one because they do have a quarterback. People should know
Yeah.
and feel good.
Got a great tight
They
end.
do have a dude.
They have a Marvin Harrison Jr.
Like they have, and they're not.
Yeah.
And number 2, the Arizona Cardinals. And my number 1 is obviously and easily the Carolina Panthers.
Mm. It's sad.
That is a black hole for anybody that goes to that team that has a future ahead of them because they don't anymore.
That's sad.
You want to go there in your twilight years. You want to go there because they'll actually pay for you and other teams won't. And this is no shot at like an Adam Thielen because I think
That's what I was thinking.
were you?
Yeah.
Like Adam Thielen could have gone and been the number 4 receiver
Right.
a lot of places. But when he left Minnesota, where did he go to be the number 2, 1.5? The Panthers because
Kinda
they were
the
going
one.
to pay him.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to go there, so they'll pay people.
Yeah, they want to leave so bad they go to the Cowboys. Jonathan Mingo.
Your boy Mingo.
I like Mingo though. I really do.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that some people don't is because he's been a Panther.
Sure.
Like, don't hold against him what he hasn't been able to do when his whole team hasn't been able to do. Look at Baker. Everybody gave up on him. Look at Sam Darnold. Everybody gave up on him. I think Jonathan Mingo is going to. The Cowboys kind of suck, but
You think Cooper Rush and Jonathan Mingo can take us to the playoffs?
Trey Lance.
Let's go,
if
baby.
it's Trey Lance, they've given up.
Yeah, I know. But it'd be fun. I want to see it.
Why not? right?
I can sign up for that. I would
Yeah.
like to see it too. But if the Cowboys still want to actually play to try to make the playoffs,
Yeah.
which there is an outside shot they can, it's Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush wins games.
He does. He
He
did
hit-
last year.
Yeah. But number 1 is the Carolina Panthers. Anything going in, I feel bad for you. Anything coming out, I have hope for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I watched, and I didn't get to watch a lot of the Panthers game because Bryce Young started. They won, right? They beat the Saints. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I was
Yes,
very
they
happy
did.
for. I root for Bryce Young. Same reason I root for these other Mama Jamas I've been talking about. People are like, oh, he sucks now. Bryce Young doesn't suck, but I watched one of his interceptions, and they're like, it was a funny meme. It was like throws another interception, and it's Bryce Young hitting a guy right in the numbers, him fumbling it, and the defensive
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
That's
So
not on him.
I was super happy for Bryce. I hope he gets out of there, and I hope he's able to have a second life, but a very young second life. Remember, Sam Darnold's very young. He's 16. It feels like he's 51, but he's 16 years old. Number 1 most irrelevant is the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anybody that I left off the list you thought should have been added to the irrelevant list? I considered the Giants, but they're New York, so it doesn't
you
matter.
can't.
What about the Saints? I'm surprised you didn't put the Saints.
Well, they were
Yeah.
the greatest team ever after week 2.
right.
After week 2.
Yeah.
about the
And they
What
have
about
won
the
a Super
Patriots?
Bowl, and they have Drew. What?
That's
The
true.
Patriots.
No,
you didn't
people
say-
still hate the Patriots.
Okay. No, but
People
irrelevant.
are
irrelevant.
But I think there's a difference. Irrelevance means general disinterest. I think some people are interested in the Saints losing because it's funny because they've been so good for so long.
Yeah.
Or it's a story because the Saints now, or not, excuse me, not the Saints, the
Patriots.
Patriots now suck.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Patriots are at all.
Still a little relevant.
I think they're very relevant. They just aren't good.
Yeah.
Drake May is promising.
The Jaguars are getting back to where they were. I mean, I know they still
They
have-
were
yeah.
probably going to be number 5 for me.
Yeah, they're back.
And it's
to
funny
beating
when they
Jags.
lose, I think their colors are so ugly and their logo's terrible.
It's the same thing with
But
the
when they
Titans.
start winning, I'm like, that Jaguar
cool,
looks pretty
man.
cool, man.
You're
That's
like,
pretty
"That-
cool.
is that gold?
That's a
in
good
there?"
looking helmet right there. That colorway, when they go to England, they know what's up. Yeah, so, yeah, that's it. I think we're good. You guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to the show. Go follow us at Bobby Bone Sports. We put up a bunch of clips. Good luck on the pickleball, everybody.
Yeah, good luck.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, if you want to win, no, can't say that. So I didn't say anything. If you want to win in life, focus.
Mhm.
My next sentence is, what I feel really great about is Tennessee covering that
Love it.
Good.
in Knoxville at Neyland when Mississippi State comes to town. I feel really good about that one. I feel like you have extra smiles when it's over. All right, that's all we got. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks to Coach, and thanks to you guys. Bye, everybody. Eddie, blow the whistle, please.
I got you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, bye, everybody.